Our investigation into the College for International Cooperation and Development began earlier this year when we were contacted by a number of former students. It's the third time in 10 years we've been told about student walkouts at the college. And all of these incidents have shared a common theme: deep unhappiness at the way CICD is run and the emphasis the college places on physical labour. The allegations have always been denied. During the latest investigation, I've spoken at length to a number of former students. Busking to pay for food and lodgings was not why David and Maya came to East Yorkshire. They originally signed up to a unique college course which promised to train them as overseas development workers. But along with 10 other students, they walked out, claiming they were being exploited.
There's nothing. There's no information, nothing. You're constantly kept busy, and then you're sent out on the streets in Hull or northern towns to fundraise. By that I mean selling magazines and literally begging in the street.
And this is the College for International Cooperation and Development in Winsted. It's one of 20 similar colleges around the world which offer their own internal qualifications for those who want to work in developing countries. The college promotional video makes it clear that there's fundraising involved in the course. Students who can't afford the fees of £2,500 work for the college business to pay for their course. This can include selling magazines on the streets or the maintenance of college buildings. And one of the other ways students raise money for their course is by helping to run the college's clothes recycling business. CICD has hundreds of these clothes collection banks across the north of England. And students are also asked to deliver thousands of leaflets to homes and businesses asking them for recycled clothing. CICD says the money raised through its business activities is ploughed back into the college and the course. But the students who contacted us claim the emphasis is on hard and monotonous physical labour, not tuition.
There's no relaxation, there's no time to gather your thoughts. They keep you constantly occupied. And there's no stimulation either, it's just fundraising.
Outside there is a beautiful garden, actually. But if you look inside, you see then the toilets are old and everything is dirty.
The students took some photos for us before they walked out to highlight what they claim are atrocious conditions. This isn't the first controversy at Winsted. 10 years ago, the site housed a school for problem children. It was shut down by the authorities. At the time, the Charity Commission said it had concerns about financial controls and administration and investigated serious concerns about the safety and welfare of children. The old school and the current CICD college have a link. Based in this remote corner of Denmark, it's their parent organisation called Tvind. It's been accused of fraud and tax evasion. Freelance journalist Mike Durham's been investigating Tvind's schools like CICD for a decade.
We're talking about an alternative school. It's about experiencing the world, it's about travel, it's about helping others. At least that's what it says in the brochures. In actual practice, the education that they offer is nothing like that. The young people seem to be spending an awful lot of their time working for the organisation rather than receiving an education.
The college is closely associated with a global empire of clothes recycling businesses, which sells UK-donated clothes in Eastern Europe, sometimes even to people in Africa. One of them is called Planet Age UK. Look North has been shown Planet Aid's accounts. They show that only 12 pence in every pound they generate through clothes sales is ever given to charity. The rest, they say, goes on admin, expenses and staffing. Do you think people are fully aware that when they donate clothing to Planet Aid UK, they're not giving to a charity, they're giving to a company which is a business, which is turning over £1 million every year and giving only 123,000 odd of that to charity?
I think that the English population don't know very much about clothes collection.
Should you not make it clear to them that they are not donating to charity?
We always say exactly how it is, but I think that in general people don't know.
When I was invited into the college earlier this week, I put the former students' concerns about exploitation and poor living conditions to CICD's principal.
The majority of the people who leave on very good terms with us. We are still in contact with many of them. Many come back for visits later on. And there is a small proportion who leave because they are not satisfied with the course. I think you would find that in any educational institution you could approach.
But what of the college's controversial parent organisation, Tvind? Is it pulling the strings here at Winstead?
I can assure you, I'm the principal of CICD. I take responsibility for what I do. Nobody is telling me what to do. I'm extremely proud of our school. I'm proud of the 415 volunteers who have done a fantastic job in Africa and India. And that is how it is.
Do you not think, though, you're doing those volunteers a disservice by continuing your association with this murky Danish group, which is at the centre of so many serious allegations?
Absolutely not. We inform all potential students about this because there are rumours and allegations swimming around. And therefore, in each and every information weekend we inform our students about this.
Teachers have emphasised that many hundreds of students from here have gone on to have positive experiences contributing to projects in the developing world. Though former students David and Maya aren't among them. They've left the UK and have set up their own unconnected registered charity. Paul Murphy, BBC Look North.
Well, Paul is joining me in the studio now. Paul, you spent time at the college this week. What else have they had to say to you?
Yes, they've invited me in earlier in the week, and one of the things they wanted to emphasise was that hundreds of students pass through this college every year and go on to development work in Africa and India and have a positive experience. They find the course useful and they do useful work out there in the developing world. The students they leave, they say, are a minority, the kind of minority dropout rate which you'd expect in any UK college of this standard.
Is there no one who regulates independent colleges like this?
Well, this is a college, but it's not a charity, it's a private business, and so it has the same amount of regulation as any private business, as a garage or a shop. And the students are calling for more regulation. They want more intervention, a greater transparency, and to know a little bit more about the college finances. So that's something that the students are campaigning for.
Paul, thank you very much indeed. And a radio documentary on the story can be heard on BBC Radio 4's Face the Facts at 9 p.m. on Sunday. Or you can hear it now by logging on to the BBC iPlayer, and there is the address.